a replacement tutorial for the video that is currently hosted on ArtV 2470, multiple sections. There's an 806, an 807, and then maybe even a couple more. We're talking about exercise 4.1, which is creating a new Bootstrap site. The video that is still here that will be removed because we really don't need to stay behind using an older version of Bootstrap. That'll be gone, but this video being recorded will replace it, although it will initially only be available in the announcements. I'll make sure that it's available for everyone in class to see the contents. Let's see what's going on. Let me reload first of all because I made some updates to the page. Namely, there used to be two links. Now there's two links rather. There used to be three, where one would go directly to the Bootstrap CDN. Bootstrap has changed the way that they store their CDN data. It's still available through only a link, and that's great. We don't have to download it. We don't have to mess with it. We do have to do some things differently though. For this assignment, you're going to need to open your GitHub page. I'm going to visit github.com. I should already be logged into ArtV 2470. I will find my ArtV 2470 repository. I don't have a week 4. I used to, but that video is no longer there, so I need to create a folder again and show you what's going to need to happen. What's going to need to happen is that you're going to, first of all, add a file, create a new file, and then this is going to go into a folder called week 04 slash, and then the name of the file. It's going to be bootstrap.html. I'll click inside of the editor and let it blink, and then let me go get some code to get this thing going. I'll open the tab again for week 4. I need to visit the Bootstrap link. That'll take me to the official website. And if you did the original exercise and you're watching this, or if you try to do the exercise with the old video, you will have already passed through these pages. The installation is going to be somewhat similar. Basically, this first page tells you a lot about Bootstrap. There's lots of really good stuff. There's installation that will help you get things started in a Linux environment, and also what we're doing here. JS Deliver is the new technology that they're using. I'm not quite familiar with it. I know that we used to have CDNs, which were basically direct links to the repositories where the files were. Nowadays though, let's do something that is basically the same thing as the old video stated. We're going to click on the download link, and I have terrible AT&T connection, so I have to wait. There it is. And we're going to scroll down, and we're going to look at the examples. It used to be that I had and I still may have, yes, I do have a link to the examples, but this page solves it all. If you want to do the examples now, I recommend you do. Then right-click on examples and tell the browser to open in a new link. This new link now has new samples. The old sample that I used in the previous exercises and the previous videos is no longer available. It might still work, but I'm not going to lose too much sleep. It might sleep about it. It was just a very simple template. We're going to continue with the simplicity. We're going to get the blog template. Click on that, and it takes me to an example. This is already made. This is running on their site. It's at getbootstrap.com/doc/5.0, very important, no longer 4.5. And then basically it's just saying, and this is the sample code you wanted. This site is already fully made, and just like I did in the older video, I'm going to copy the code for this site. I'll right-click somewhere where there's no text and tell it to view the page source. Click once again in a blank area so I don't select anything. I'll press Command A. I'm in a Macintosh. Press Control A in a PC, on a PC. Press Control A on a Chromebook, and then that selects all. Then we're going to copy. I'm going to right-click and copy, and now it's in my clipboard. I have all the code I need. I can close this page, and I'll leave the sample open for now. And I'm going to go back to the Get Bootstrap, and I can close that just so that there's less things open. And finally, I'm back at the exercise. I'm going to skip forward into the new file that I had opened or created, and I'm going to press Control V as in Victor on a PC or a Chromebook. Actually, I have to press Command V. I'm in a Macintosh, and that pastes everything. I'll scroll down and commit the new file, and my new bootstrap.html page has been created. I could navigate to the page, so to see how it's doing online, I will click on the page called bootstrap.html. I'm going to highlight the name of the file as well as the directories where it's located. You could also type your username .github.io/week04/bootstrap.html. But if you already have this selected, you could right click and say go to, and it's showing me that I have a blog. It's terribly bad looking because this is just the HTML. What we copied, if I view the page source, is exactly what the other page has. One thing that's not helping us, though, is that when it's looking for the core CSS, which is the cascading style sheets that this page needs, they're somewhere else. They're inside a website that has a directory called docs, where inside there's a 5.0 distribution of CSS, etc., etc. We don't have that. That is not our page, and we really should not link directly to this page and depend on it for CSS. Instead, I'm going to close this. I'm going to leave this blog page open and go back into the exercise. Click again on Bootstrap. Click again on Download. I think you could have also clicked on the other link, but I know this way for sure. That if we scroll down a little bit, there's a CDN via JS Deliver. So it's not really a CDN anymore. Instead, we have to link to a JavaScript script so that a CSS is loaded. All of this code needs to be put into our page. I can click on the Copy to Clipboard button and then go back to my GitHub page. Make sure I am editing the file, and then scroll down a bit and you'll see a remark. You'll see a comment that says Bootstrap core CSS minus on line 16. This following line is the culprit. Is looking for a bootstrap.min.css file we don't have. So I highlighted the whole line. I'm going to press backspace to delete it, and then I'm going to press Command V in my Mac, Control V on your PC or Chromebook, and then the CSS is loaded onto the HTML. I'm scrolling down just a lot of stuff. I'm just going to move the window to the side, and then that way I can see that my new CSS reference point is actually linked to JS Deliver and no longer to the old CDN. I'll scroll all the way down again, click Commit Changes, and then wait 30 seconds or so for the page. Then I could go into the tab that I left open and reload to see if anything happens. And I know that this usually takes a little bit of time, so while that is happening, I need to tell you something that's going to happen. The page will look very much like the sample that we looked at, the one where we got the copy from, except you'll notice, and hopefully you'll notice right away, that the fonts are different. This is a nice serif font. That means that it's got little feet at the end of the letters. It's more like a Times New Roman. It's more of a newspaper reader type of font. Let me reload to see if it's there. And it's there. And this is a sans serif, so it looks a little bit more blocky. It looks a little bit less refined. It looks different. And the important thing about that is that not only does it look different for the typeset, it might be working different for menus, it might be working different for images. It's expecting additional information that it doesn't have right now. Fortunately, there's a simple solution to this. So I see how the large here has a serif font, and the one that we have actually doesn't. It's also smaller. It's supposed to be large, but it's not. It's underlined. That's where the similarities end. And then if you were to come and look down, there's going to be probably other changes that we were not expecting. In the sample page, and it's important that you stick with it, this sample page, the one with the serif font, you need to find once again a blank area, right click, view the page source, and we're going to look a little bit deeper into the code. At least in my screen, at least on my line 48, there is a link to a blog.css. It's already loading the CSS that Bootstrap needs, but in addition to that, blog itself, this template has additional CSS. We're going to click on the link, blog.css. A new file will appear, and this is all text. I'm going to click somewhere where it's blank. There's nothing there. If you're in a PC or a Chromebook, press Control A. I'm in a Macintosh, so I'm going to press Command A. That selects all. Right click and copy. Go back into my GitHub. I'm in my bootstrap.html file, but I don't want it. I need to go back into the week 4 directory. And then I'm going to add a file and create a new file. This file should be called blog.css. It should be inside of week 4. Press too many buttons, but it's week 04 blog.css. I'll click close to the number 1 inside the editor, and my Mac I will press Command V as in Victor. You should press Control V if you're in a PowerBook or a Chromebook. I should say a PC or a Chromebook. Scrolling all the way down, you can read and examine what changes were made. It looks like there's some text, there are some headers, there is some additional CSS coding that is not covered by Bootstrap. So we will create a new file that now holds some CSS. My directory for week 04 now has 2 files. One is blog.css, which is the coding that I just copied at the end. The other one is bootstrap.html. That's the actual blog page. I'll go back into the blog template window that I have open in my site. I will reload, and I'm still waiting for this. I could load and view the page source just to see if that'll hurry up this, but this is like watching a boiling tea kettle. I will reload. And well, unless I actually click on blog.css, I'll see that now my GitHub account inside of week 4, inside of blog.css has that code. I'm going to close this window and close this one. I'm back in my Bootstrap page. I will reload again, and now the missing fonts are now loaded. And I could go in and edit this page and use it as my own, and then I would have a website that would work just well with a mobile device, just like that. These Bootstrap templates come in very handy. Somebody else did all the work and they're sharing it with us. I will then copy my username.github.io/week04/bootstrap.html URL. You can cut it or copy it, Control C or Command C, and get it out of there. Go back to the assignment, find the name of the assignment, 4.1, create a new Bootstrap site, click on it, and at the bottom, assignment submission, and write a submission, and press Control V as in Victor to paste, pressing Command V, and then hit submit, and you will be graded. Make sure that your file looks like the example and make sure that you copied the CSS so that I can tell you have updated it to the latest and greatest version.